We don't have to film that again, Nick, do we? You do know that I am a miracle of modern medicine. Does anybody know I had COVID? I don't want to seem like... I don't want you to feel sorry for me, all right? I'm not looking for that. Just want to be acknowledged that not only did I have COVID-19, I had COVID-20. Because in England, you know, we've got this new strain that came in from the north. It came from Liverpool and from Manchester, which are two northern cities. And they gave me this COVID-20 strain. And, you know, people like me don't get sick. I mean, people like me don't die. I wasn't expecting to get sick or ill from this thing, but I gave it a good kicking. Not before it kicked me, though, quite badly for a couple of weeks, and I ended up in hospital. And my neighbour is a doctor in London, and I gave him a ring. I said, Rick, I don't know how ill I am, because if you've never been really ill before, you don't know how sick you are. So I rang him up and said, Rick, how do I know how bad I am with this COVID? I'm like, he said, well, you don't sound like you're breathing very well. He said, you better call 111. And in England, we have 111. And so instead of calling 999, which is the ambulance, you call 111. And they establish how sick you are. So I'm phoning up like a Buddha. Yeah, hi. I just want to know how sick I am. He said, well, I can hear from your voice you're not breathing very well. He said, we're going to send the paramedics round. And the paramedics in England are basically the ambulance people. So this is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Nothing. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I thought, well, I'm probably just going to die here. This is how it ends. Anyway, 2 o'clock in the morning, my intercom goes, and it's these two young paramedics. And Mr. Fox, oh, yeah, that's me, yeah, come in. Now, I didn't want to show them. I don't know why, but men have this thing, they want to be tough. Women are like, oh, take me to hospital. Oh, please, I'm dying. Take me away. But men were, I'm Buddha, you know, and so, yeah, that's me. And they came in. Hi, how you doing? Two young, fit guys. Now, they could see that I was quite fit, but I was struggling to breathe. So anyway, they sat down, they started asking me questions, and they said, I'm like this, but trying to show that I'm not too weak. They said, would you like some oxygen? Yeah, if you got some oxygen. Yeah. And after the oxygen, I'm starting to feel quite high. It's quite enjoyable, the oxygen. So after about 10 minutes of examining me, he said, look, you can either come to hospital with us now, or you can wait till tomorrow, and you'll be an emergency, and you might even be dead. Dead? You're dead? He said, yeah, you really actually need to come with us now. OK, let's go. He said, have you got a bag? I said, what do I need a bag for? How long am I going to stay there? I mean, just a few hours? Oh, you'll be staying some time. Some time? Do you know who you're talking to? I'm not going to hospital for some time. Just see me, give me a few tablets and get me the hell out of there. So he said, have you got a bag? Well, you know when you're not thinking straight and the oxygen's making me feel a bit high. So I got this plastic bag, you know, like an Etetsa bag. We got Sainsbury's in England. I got a Sainsbury's bag, and I put my toothbrush in there and some perfume. I thought, I've got to smell nice. So they dragged me into the ambulance. I thought, I've never been in an ambulance before. This is quite like this. I said, would you do me a favour? Would you put that blue light on? He said, all right, but we can't have the no, because it's 3 in the morning. There's nobody on the road. I said, oh, it would have been nice to have everything. Anyway, puts the light on. So I get into hospital. I'm in this nice little room, and I still got the oxygen stuck up my nose, feeling quite high, enjoying myself. And where's my fucking pen? I don't know why I want a pen. Yeah, I've got a pen. OK. So anyway, I'm in this nice little room, and in comes the doctor, and he said, how are you feeling? Fantastic. Get me out of here, because the last place you want to be when you're sick is in the hospital, because it's the place where you get all the illnesses and the sicknesses. So I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. Anyway, comes in. How are you feeling? I'm feeling fantastic. I'm a Buddha. just get me out of it. And he actually said to me, where have you come from? I said, well, I was in Kosovo a while ago. And he actually said, this is the COVID capital of Europe, but I've never seen anything like that. Everybody's running around here quite happy. So I said to him, listen, just tell me if I'm going to make it to 90. That's all I want to know. So he said, are you a drinker? I'm lying back on my nice, it's very comfortable in there, and I'm like this. No, I'm not a drinker. He said, what about smoking? Haven't smoked for 10 years. Don't anybody say anything about smoking or drugs in here, all right? Not mentioning that. He said, what about any parties? Are you going to any wild parties? No, I don't go to any wild parties. He said, what about sex? Are you having sex at least once a week? And this is true. He said, are you having any sex at all? He said, tell me, why do you want to live till you're 90? It's an ambition. I just want to live till I'm well now. Anyway, now, we know the drill here. If we get that knock on the door and the police come in, get your masks out quickly. Obviously, we want to show some kind of... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Go here.
I just finished the call.
Have you had the hug?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Come and talk us in.
Thank you very much.
You know, listen, this aren't the normal crowd. Don't be fooled by these nice girls. They're hooligans, all right?
Really?
You know what a hooligan is, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to say to you as soon as I see you? I say, all right, our kid. This lot don't understand.
I've not heard that in a while.
I know, but we do that because our lingo, because just for those of you who don't know, Saranda sort of grew up for a long time, didn't you, Manchester?
Yes.
We are actually enemies because I'm from Yorkshire. Do you know this went on for a long time? The War of the Roses.
Yeah, but...
Have you heard of that?
But I'm just thinking whether... It depends on what situation. Then you have the North and the South, and then...
There's Leeds United. Are you a Manchester fan by any chance?
So I have to be honest that I'm not a big fan of football in general. I watch it, but... I know. So for me, Manchester United and Manchester City, they're home clubs, and so I support them in any circumstance. It's also really interesting because recently, of course, we had England play in Kosovo.
Oh.
So I was right in the middle, but I was proud of both.
Do you know we had one of the footballers on the show?
Really?
Valon Berisha.
Very nice.
He was better at cooking than he was at football. No. He was at the night when he played here. It wasn't so good. But in England, scored 2 goals.
Yep.
Amazing. Can you imagine if he'd have scored another 2 goals here? I mean, that really put Kosovo on the map for football, don't you think?
Nah. I mean also people have to acknowledge the fact that it's a new team.
Of course,
They're, you know, young men.
I like their manager. He's a lunatic. Have you seen it? Bernard. He gives it all that. Do you want a drink? I'm sorry, Ashley.
Yeah, sure.
I've got Van Barther, Van Kutje, Ui Pagas, Ui Megas. Or, hey, do you fancy a brew?
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
They don't know what a brew is. Hang on. Somebody's been in here tidying up. Admir, I don't believe. Every time I turn my back, they start moving things. But listen, I've got some special biscuits for you. Do you ever dunk your biscuits in the tea?
Yeah, of course.
Do they do that here in Kosovo?
Yeah.
They do that here?
Even in the small...
The coffee?
No. In the small cups, the tea.
Do you know what?
Black tea.
That is making so much of a noise. I think I'm going to give you a glass of wine instead.
All right.
What would you like? Red, white, red or white?
White, please.
Only a lady drinks wine. See, there we go. Glass of white wine, and it's the finest, by the way. This is the Stonecastle. The finest one. Oh, I want to show you the difference between your Prime Minister and our Prime Minister.
Well, he's my Prime Minister too.
Well, he's
both of my Prime Ministers.
Oh, yes. Can we just have a look, a little bit, of Albin Kurti? It's all right.
Këta e kanë hedhur Kosovën në baltë. Mu më duhet ta nxjerr nga balta. Dhe pa I futur edhe vetë duart në baltë, nuk është e mundur. Po ndërgjegjen sot ta kemë me baltë.
Now, Albin comes over to me, very serious, very sensible, and very believable. I look at him and I think, I don't know what he's saying, but look at that face. What mother wouldn't love that face? Can we have a look at our Prime Minister, please? I just want to compare it. Let's have a look at Boris.
Kipper. He has had his costs massively increased by Brussels bureaucrats who have insisted that each kipper must be accompanied by a plastic ice pillow.
It turns out that probably isn't true, but it's not the only big claim by Boris to come under scrutiny.
I mean, look, the thing is, that's our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, just in case you haven't seen. I just can't see Albin Kurti wearing a string of sausages round his neck or getting caught, remember, on the high wire. Yeah. I just can't see. But, you know, we laugh at that. But actually, in some ways, it's quite important because, you know, it's endeared Boris to the British people, and ultimately they voted him in. And I think they voted him in because, I don't know, because he's such a character. Whereas Albin, I don't think he was voted in for that reason. It was completely different. He was voted in because he was believable, and I think the general masses felt he's going to make a change. So it's a big, huge job that you got.
It's a different situation. We're in different context in relation to Kosovo and in relation to Britain. I think also a lot of things have changed in Britain for quite some years now.
Worse, better, good, bad. Because you weren't a fan of leaving the EU.
No, because I don't think it was necessary to. I mean, for all the reasons that, you know, have been said,
I hate the EU. No, but it's. I mean, even the EU itself, it's not the EU that you've had a few years ago. It's got worse.
But I think it's really important that all of the countries within the EU do stick with each other and do support each other and also support other smaller countries like Kosovo, because we are in Europe. We are in Europe.
You are physically in Europe. But
exactly, but then, you know, and it's important then to have and to support even smaller countries like us. We have the potential, but we just need a little bit of support to be able to... No, it's not just about money. No,
you need that diaspora to come back in here.
Well, yes, but it's also in relation to change of attitude and politics and so on. So it's not all down to money. Sometimes you have the money, but then you don't go anywhere with it.
So look, you've grown up really in two places.
Yes.
So how was Manchester growing up? Because I actually used to work in Manchester.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you where I worked, just start laughing your head off. In fact, they probably burnt the place down, they probably knocked it down. It was a place called the Ritz.
I know, it's still there.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
What is it? You know, I used to be a singer in there.
Right.
Well, hey, we're going back a long time before you start making any horrible noises.
Do you know one thing that I appreciated about Manchester and the UK is actually how much they did in preserving a lot of the older buildings and sort of some form of landmarks that we had there, and turned it into spaces where, you know, and Manchester is known not just for music but for arts. And
I'm going to test you on music in a minute. Let's see what you know.
Don't go there.
No, let's see what you know. But
I'm not prepared for that.
You've just touched on something. I want to know what these three bands have got in common, okay? Right. Play the music. Let's...
It's gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Right, so
actually this is one of the songs that whenever I listen I feel at home.
That's Manchester, isn't it? Because of Liam. I mean, I can say, he does that all the time. You're all right, kid. Even when he's with the Queen. All right, kid. All right. What have those three bands got in common?
Music. What
have those three bands? Do you know who the three bands were?
Yes, but I never really looked into the other ones. All of them.
They're all from the same place.
Which part of Manchester?
I don't know, but they're from Manchester. Oh, does anybody know those bands? No.
No, I know, but I have to be honest, the other two, I didn't know they were from Manchester.
I want to do a bit of a true or false with you. Now, I want you to listen to these because these are genuine laws that exist. Well, some of them are genuine, some of them not genuine. Ready for this? So it's true or false, okay?
Let's do it.
It's illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament. True or false?
False.
You think that's rubbish? It's true.
We have a democracy.
You are not allowed to die. No, it's true. You are not allowed to die in the Houses of Parliament in England. I mean, I don't know how they legislate for that. He's dead. Get him out. You can't die here. But
no, but they will die, but maybe they will not keep them there.
But do you know why it's illegal to die in the House of Parliament? Because if you die in there, apparently they've got to give you a state funeral. How ridiculous is that? You don't know what a state funeral, but if you die in the equivalent of Parliament in Pristina, they have to...
But then what would they do if you just drop dead in Parliament?
I don't know, I'm just reading the rules. It's not me. I don't know anything about it.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Right.
Would I lie to you? Would a politician lie to me? Never. Politician would... Let's try it. OK, second one.
All right.
You're going to like this. This is another law. It could be a law and it could be a load of bullshit, OK? It is still legal for a pregnant woman to relieve herself, that means to go to the toilet, whenever she wants. And if she wants to, she can urinate in a policeman's helmet.
I think that... I mean, is that a law?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
It's absolutely true. How crazy is that? It's true that if a pregnant woman is going down the road...
It's completely understandable.
What, in a policeman's helmet? I mean, just...
I mean, she might not want to just go on, you know, it's a pregnant lady.
It's absolutely true. I think that this is typical England. We have some bizarre laws that are so... This is probably 150, 200 years old. I like this one. This could be true or false. So...
Maybe they just never had the need to change them.
Well, it does.
They didn't
loads
really
of laws haven't been
make
repealed. They just leave them. So, Polish potatoes are illegal in England. So, under the Polish potatoes notification in England, number... Order 2004, no person shall, in the course of business, import into England potatoes.
That could be true, and they might have changed that, because also we have a lot of Polish stores now across the UK because of that period of time where we had quite a few people, I mean, you can't really say migrated, but moved to the UK to work.
I'll tell you what,
so
you've got a smart politician here, because you got the reason that they weren't. That's absolutely true. No Polish potatoes in England. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So they haven't changed the law?
Yeah,
all right.
They haven't changed the law. And there's loads of laws like that exist in England. So, in fact, another one is a stupid one. You know what a bow and arrow is?
No.
You can be arrested in England if you don't practice bow and arrow for 1 hour every Sunday.
What?
I've arrested loads of my friends. Because, you know, in England, you know, you can have what you call a...
But is that only within England or the rest of the UK? Just in England?
No, actually. No, it's you're right, the whole of the UK. Okay. But, you know, there are these stupid old laws here in England that we've never repealed at all, you know. Now, I want to see if the audience have got anything sensible to ask you. Has anybody got a sensible question to ask Saranda about... I mean, look, it's your future. Look at you all, young people. You must have something you want to ask. You can't be sitting in coffee bars all day drinking. Sometimes I want to kick them, get them out of the coffee bars. But
well, they need... Well, no, but they need... Yes, we have a very great coffee culture, and I love it.
Yeah, so do I.
But also, you know, we need to have this element of visa liberalisation off. The UK also has to have not such strict rules to get these young people out.
It's very strict.
You know.
England is I don't know why it is. I don't know. You might be able to tell me, but it's incredibly hard.
I understand it, but you know, you have to give young people a chance and for them to explore the world, to be able to take opportunity. And this was also one of the reasons why I was quite angry with Brexit, because being part of the EU, it gave so much opportunity for young people in the UK and vice versa. And a lot of young people use that.
But we have a lot of Albanians in England.
Yes, but no, I mean, I always talk about this, and I always give this example because I think it's very important. When I was 7 or 8, I was an asylum seeker in Sweden because we left, because my school was taken away, because my father was thrown out of work. Things were getting worse here. And then I became a refugee at the end of the 90s because of what happened to me during the war. And then 5 years later, I became a British citizen. And then I was the citizen of the world. I could choose where I wanted to live. I could choose what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it's not about, and a lot of people even living in the UK don't have that choice. And especially with what's going on at the moment in the UK, you know, people are at risk of being sent back into their countries where there's still conflict going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's beyond that. It's really how do you give these young people the chance for them to be able to choose if they want to go on holiday somewhere, to go on holiday somewhere.
I mean,
if they want to visit, if there's, you know, I had a friend who was given the chance to do some work with Reuters, and she couldn't do the training because her visa was declined. And so it's really them being able to be the citizen of the world, like I am, and you
with
are.
America and England being so close to Kosovo, that they would have at least relaxed the laws to allow Albanians to travel into, even if it's only for 6 months, easily, to see then if they could get either more training or a job or something. But as you say, the visa thing is differently to go around Europe and the world. And I think it's terrible that young Albanians haven't got that chance just to jump on a plane easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never believed in locking the world down. I always believe that everybody's got a right to go to any country. But it seems that countries are so defensive of their borders. You know, I believe in immigration because I was an immigrant in England, you were an immigrant, and if we hadn't been given that amazing opportunity, don't you think that that was the most wonderful thing that we could have had in our lives to get?
But that's what I mean, you know, that's why I always say this. You know, the moment I became British, I was a citizen of the world. I was free to travel, I was free to do things, I was free to participate in different things, you know. And so these young people need that kind of opportunity. I understand the politics behind it, because once you get into it and the way you learn how countries work, I understand that element. But I think you have to give young people a chance. And trust me, no one wants to leave their family and go off and live somewhere else, you know. But if you give that opportunity of being able to do things, then they're going to stay here more. But if you keep them isolated, of course, they're going to want to go out.
I couldn't agree with you more. Having said that, I still would like to see Kosovars coming back here.
Of course.
But look, I was going to ask this lot if they wanted to ask you anything. And beforehand, you know what they said? They just want to know about your love life.
Oh, God.
Is there a Mr. Bogujevci? Is there somebody there? Listen carefully, boys and girls.
Well, I wouldn't say he's a Mr. Bogujevci, but I mean, he does exist.
Oh, he exists. Oh, okay. And can we ask about Mr.
Yeah.
You're always going to ask about.
Actually, it will be the first time I'm talking about him.
Well, yeah, that's good, because it means there's something serious. Where is Mr. Bogujevci?
He's in Brussels.
Is he in the EU? Is he working in the EU?
No.
Is he in politics?
No.
Is he tall?
Yeah, he's very tall. He's very tall.
Can we ask what he does? I only ask because I'm a short arse.
Okay, so I met him in Kosovo. He's Belgian. He's, if people are thinking, he's in the Flemish side, so he's Flemish. Because then I realized also they have this who's what even there.
They wouldn't know whether I was talking Flemish or not. It's such a ridiculous language. Nobody.
But you sound more Dutch.
I come from the Dutch-speaking side of Belgium.
No. But I mean Dutch is in from Holland.
Well, I have
the Dutch that the Flemish speak, it's much more subtle. No.
I'm just showing.
I understand a little bit, but no.
Just showing off. So what does Mr. Bogujevci do? He's not.
But then also he's not a Mr. Bogujevci. He's the whole hoot.
He's the partner, you know. But it's nice.
He specializes in crimes against humanity and is a lawyer.
Okay, he's smart. He's smart, obviously. Very smart.
And we met in Pristina, actually, 2 years ago, and at a conference which was about the specialist chambers. And Albin was also in that panel. So
2 years? I mean, normally in Kosovo, after 1 year, it's the ring on the finger, isn't it? So if you've gone 2 years, that is deadly serious. How much more deadly serious is it going to get? Is it going all the way? I don't want to know, but these people asked me beforehand.
Yes.
It's going all the way.
Yes, of course. I'm very
We're
happy.
the first to hear that maybe Miss Bogujevci is going to become a Miss...
No.
Not-
I might become the Mrs. as in the traditional of, but
not
I
marriage.
tend to stay with my second name.
And would you actually... But would
Because
you
I'm
actually get-
Saranda Bogujevci, and so I
They're
would
staying like
stay
that.
Saranda
But
Bogujevci.
you would get married, though.
Yeah, I don't mind if I get married.
Are we going to... I mean, are you going to announce it here that you are going to get married at some point?
Well, I believe so.
Well, there we go. Okay, last. I'm sure the
Listen,
proposal's already been
with
there.
the pandemic, everything for everyone changed. So.
Exactly.
As long as I always say, as long as, and we have, it's this expression that we have in Kosovo, as long as everyone's healthy and well, and the rest, it's...
Okay. Anybody got one nice question for Saranda? Anything?
Feel free.
Feel free.
Nino.
I absolutely. You can ask it in Albanian or in English. I just want a translation if it's in Albanian, just to make sure it's clean. Okay. Anybody got? You can see how dying they are. They just don't want to come forward with it. Nothing.
Actually, she answered
Oh,
our
Mandy.
questions.
About the marriage.
We know most of
Is
it.
that it? There's
And
no,
you're the first to know.
and there's no political questions.
Well, is
That
she
worried.
going to be deputy? We would like her to be in parliament. You know, I think
So
it's a slot.
I don't like to say anything until there's the official results. But from what I've been told from people who've been following everything, that my chances are that I've still...
Great, yeah.
You know what? I have to say, ever since Margaret Thatcher, who I'm sure you know who Margaret Thatcher is. Do you know Margaret Thatcher?
Yeah.
I've always said, I'd love to see more women in politics here.
Yes.
And I think, on a final note, I'd love to see more people like you because you're fun, you've got a warm personality, and I think if you took a serious role in government, I think you'd be a big merit to Kosovo. Big hand, everybody, to Saranda Bogujevci.